So I'm just outside enjoying a little sunset and the summer breeze through my hair. People looking at me like I'm crazy on my porch. I'm at the point of delusion where I've started succulent and cactus hoarding in my kitchen. I have like these beautiful plants and then it looks like freaking this, like icicles. My cactus and succulent are thriving. That one died. Half of these died. And that's on its way out. RIP. This one's fine. This was my outdoor plant, but if I would have like left it, it definitely would be dead. My man literally told me I was super bogus for leaving it out there, but I just have no room for it. So gotta take one for the team. And my bamboo's dying. I hate this. I feel like my plants are going through seasonal depression too. Like, what are we gonna do? Yeah, I'm about to bring my ass inside because it's fucking winter. No thank you weather outside. But I'm going to go back inside before my neighbors see me and think I'm crazier than I am, because I know they be hearing me yelling at my kids all day and hissing at my cats. So welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute, so sorry I've been slacking. But today I wanted to do like a bronze sun-kissed look. You know, it's been like -degrees and no thank you weather outside. I'm just so sick of being this pale vampire, very, it's that twilight skin, and just feeling really deprived of vitamin D and sunlight. So I think today I'm just gonna fake it and pretend this is the middle of summer, and we're gonna do a very highlighted, very bronze, very nude look. Should use the putty. We'll use the putty today. We'll do this right here. I only used this the one time for my other video and I really liked it and I kind of forgot about her. And this, oh, that's too much. And it says to let it set for 30 seconds, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. We definitely need to start on eyebrows and eyeshadow, just because I'm using brown eyeshadows. Like my last video, I did my foundation first. Today I don't want to do that, because if I have fallout, which I noticed the palettes that I'm using do have a bit of fallout, and with the brown especially, it's gonna be so hard to erase that or cover that up. I just did my eyebrows off of camera just because I don't want my videos to get too repetitive, and I always do my eyebrows on camera, so just to save a little time, because I'm gonna spend more time on my contour and highlight today, I'm just gonna breeze through this step real quick. Fenty concealer and my Morphe concealer brush. You guys, I've been saying Morphe wrong this whole time, and I just realized, like, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was watching a product review and they said Morphe and I was like, hold on a second, like I've literally been saying my Morphe brushes. Wow. Anyways, what's done is done. I just finished my eyebrows. So now I'm gonna go in with Too Faced Shadow Insurance for my eyelids. I should do this more religiously. And the thing with concealer, I love using concealer, but it sometimes is oil based and it kind of promotes your eyelids being abnormally oily. And I mean, it's good for like pigment wise, like if you're of a darker complexion and you're doing like a really dramatic like eyeshadow look and you don't want that color to be washed out. A lot of people use like really light, like almost white concealers, but I just suggest with that I would probably set it with some kind of powder. Most people like to just put it on the concealer because it sticks a lot better and lasts longer. But if you're a person like me with hooded eyelids and oily ones, it's always good to put powder down. I'm just taking a concealer brush and I'm going to use this today. It's actually a liquid highlighter. This is the iconic London Illuminator, and this is in the original color. I'm kind of scared. And I'm just gonna put this on my brow bone, like up here. and bring it all the way to my eyebrow, but not all the way down. I don't want to move my concealer around too much, but like you can see how the light is kind of reflecting off of it. I'm probably gonna just add a powder highlight afterwards, but I just wanted to really go in with my contour today. So I've only used this a few times and I actually really like the formula to this. This is the Snap Shadows, which I like with Fenty. A lot of their stuff is like magnetic. True Neutrals is what this is. So I'm gonna use this as my transition shade. I always like the lighter ones in this. And then this will be my darker shade, like for my crease. And then I'm gonna use this bronze color on my lid. I always have this. I haven't showed this, but I've used it in all my videos. But it's just this thing that I got from Fenty. I wish I remember the name of it. But it's just like a makeup brush sponge, so you can switch colors. And the only maintenance you have to do with this is just after a while, like the powder from your brush falls in there, so you just have to like empty it out. This is what I'd be using to switch brushes or colors if I need to use the same brush, just because I wouldn't say I have like not a lot of makeup brushes, but like this is it. I always use this. This is my It dual-ended brush. It has one for all over shadow, which is this side, and then this one's for the crease. Pretty much right over that, I'm gonna use this kind of copper color here with my crease brush, so it's a less wide brush. I'm using a different palette. I'm gonna use the Kylie Jenner. She has a few palettes, but this is the only one that I have, and it's the neutral color, the nudes. I really like this because of the orange, but its black is really pigmented as well, which I love. So I'm gonna use this color Tiger Eye, and I'm just gonna pack that into the crease. Now I'm gonna go in with this darker brown here with a smaller blending brush, so it won't blend out so much into the brown, but just in the outer corner and closer to the crease. I really don't want to lose like the tiger eye color behind it. So I'm just gonna diffuse the edge of the brown, or the deep brown that I just put in my crease, with the same brush that I used Tiger Eye with. I'm just taking this dark color Bronzite from my Kylie palette, and this just has a more flat brown, if that makes sense, like a cooler brown. So I'm just gonna put this right on top with the same brush that I used for the dark color in this palette, and I'm just going to go over it and deepen it one more time. And I'm really just trying to smoke everything out and blend it all together. Now I'm just gonna add the glitter shade to my lid. I'm gonna spray this MAC Prep and Prime spray on my brush, just because I noticed with glitter shades it's hard to pick up if you don't have like a really firm brush. This one's one of the firmer ones, but still has enough fluff to kind of grab the shade, I guess. You can use setting spray if you don't have this. This is a setting spray slash hydrator, so just something to make it wet so you can pick up the eyeshadow. I'm just gonna grab this shade right here and put it onto the lighter spot where I haven't added any color to. And I'm just gonna try and keep this underneath my crease because when my eyes open, since it's hooded, you can't really see like where it cuts off. So it's kind of like a cut crease, but without like the added hassle. I want to keep it just away from my brown and my crease just because I don't want the glitter and the brown shade to mix. So I'm going to kind of wait for this to set before I like completely open my eye. And I'm going to bring this as close to the brown as I can get because I'm just going to bring this brown color in a little bit more so it has more of a halo effect than it does like a complete cut crease on my lip. And what I'm kind of doing is just placing it where I want it to stop and dragging it down so I don't accidentally blend up. And I'm going to just go in with the darker shade again to just melt the shimmer and the outer corner brown together. So now I'm just going to take my Hank & Henry eyeliner pen and I'm just going to make a line from the inner corner to the outer corner. Today I just wanted like a smoked out look, so I'm not going to be doing like a super winged eyeliner, so that's why I'm just going to use this instead of my Tarte, just so that I can put my eyelashes on and it looks a little bit more natural. So today I'm going to be using the Ardell Foam Ink in the 3D ones. And I just grip it really close to the base, to the eyelash strip. Just so I have more control of placement because I hate when I like put the lash on and then like a corner of it will lift and touch the eyeshadow somewhere. Ugh, so I just like to have the most control and I grip it from the middle so that if one side is starting to like, or one corner starts to move, I can just maneuver over real quick to fix it. Now I'm just touching up with my eyeliner pen. Just, I don't know why, but sometimes the line will fade or become crooked, so I just kind of go over the top of it with a black eyeliner. I am still going to use my powder contour palettes, but I want to try my cream one. I've only used this one time, but this is the KKW Beauty. These are the contour sticks, and this is in the color Light. I like that the darker color is like a mint color, so it's not like a dark brown, and you can build up the color. The highlight has kind of like a concealer shade, and then this one is more of a shimmer, which, I mean, it has a little bit of shimmer. I'm going to try to blend it with this really dense, I think this is a foundation brush, but it's really firm. And then I'm going to try on this side, I think, with my beauty blender just to see which one blends out. Like, I like the option that this can like blend if I need it to. This really just will push in the product. So I'm going to start with the deep contour. This is Light 1 and Light 2. So yeah, this is the deeper color end and this is the lighter color one. Let's see. So, I mean, it's blending pretty well, honestly, with the brush. It kind of looks like it's taking a lot of the product away, but you want to just blend it back a little bit and push. So, like, when I'm pushing it, I'm just lightly dragging it back a little bit is what I'm doing. And then I'm going to see what the sponge looks like on this side. This is the side with the brush. This is the side with the beauty blender. I think I'm just gonna stick to the brush just because I feel a little more comfortable with it. I don't know, I guess it's just all preference. There's no right or wrong for how you want to do it. And actually I'll try the beauty blender on this side again to see how this goes. Here's a darker one on top of that. So just pushing and kind of dragging it back. You want to use like more of a tapping motion than a like going like this where you're like scrubbing it in, just because you're going to move your product underneath. So your foundation, you don't really want that to move. So I'm just like tapping it, like bouncing it off my skin like you would a beauty blender. And then like I said, the dragging motion, it's just going to be like very slightly back, just like a vibrating kind of motion. And this is pretty straightforward. You're just gonna bounce it and drag it up and back into your hairline at kind of a diagonal angle. This one I feel like took a lot of product off, like not so much moved it, but like maybe if you went a little heavy, you could use this to kind of like take away some product, but I feel like the brush kept most of the product on here. I mean, they both look pretty consistent. I mean, this side looks darker, but like I said, I feel like it left a lot of the product there. So now I'm just taking it under my jawline and bringing it up a little bit up here just to kind of shape it. And I'm just pressing it and dragging it down to underneath my face. I'm going to use the darker one, so the light 2 like underneath, which is kind of what I do with my powders. I use the darker to lift my nose, and then a light one just to kind of shape this part. That's like essentially the shape that I want to try and keep, is just kind of keep everything like narrow straight down. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my Fenty contour and concealer brush, and it's just a really round dense brush, essentially just a smaller version of this for my nose. So I'm gonna start with the light parts first, and I'm gonna do the same kind of pressing and dragging motion, but I'm dragging the color down just because I don't want to, you know, drag it to the sides, because I want the chiseled look, and if I start dragging it out, it's just gonna make my nose look whiter, which would defeat the whole purpose of the point. And so that's one side blended. So this I kind of blend up just so I kind of get that like button nose kind of look. I don't really want anything too dramatic. Like, I know some people can literally give themselves nose jobs just with contour alone, but I'm really not too into the nose stuff just because it can get pretty crazy right away if you don't blend it correctly. And now this is just the matte white side, and I'm just gonna put a really thin line down the middle here. And I think maybe just like a little bit of the shiny side just right at the tip. And you're really not spreading the product around, you're just essentially just softening the edges so it doesn't look like a drawn line right there. Let's see what it looks like with the beauty blender. Okay, so I just went and grabbed like my peanut shaped beauty blender. I'm just gonna use this one because it has 2 sharp ends on it, which is gonna help me with my contour and the lighter spots. It's not really blending. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. This is kind of bringing back memories of when I tried this. The lighter contour was a problem just because it was, you kind of have to like put it exactly where you want it to lay or else this will happen. Maybe I'm supposed to blend it right away and not let it set there. But I feel like letting it set, like a lot of concealers, warms the product so it can blend easier. On my nose it was fine, but I only used a little bit and I blended it right away. So maybe that's like the key to this. Okay, it blends better right when it's put on. Well, everything else was fine except for underneath my eyes. And I'm just going to fix this real quick with my concealer. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can use that light stick under my eye area. Because it was like pulling, when I was blending it, it was like pulling my foundation off. That's not good. Now I'm just going to set it in my highlighted areas with my setting powder so I can fix my contour with my powder. I mean, I like cream. It's like definitely more for dramatic, like if you want to really snatch your face. I like something a little more subtle. Now I'm gonna use my Tarteist Pro Glow, and it's just a face palette. I'm gonna use the matte one first. I'm just gonna use my Dallas blush just to kind of touch up my nose and my lighter contour. And I'm gonna use a mix of this and my Hoola bronzer for my blush, kind of in place of blush, because I just want a really like golden look rather than like a flushed rosy cheek kind of look. I'm just taking my Morphe blush brush and I'm just going to soften the edges of my deep contours. So now that everything's blended together, let's see how the Iconic highlighter, I'm just gonna use it right here, like right on top on, you know, the apples of my cheek right here. I try to keep powder off of it just because this is liquid, and when the liquid and the powder mix together, it gets muddy really quick. I'm gonna just use what's on here, and I'm just gonna put some on my hand like that, and just like with my beauty blender, just really tap it in just so that it doesn't get muddy right away. So I'm just gonna start here and bring it back. You really want to tap it in to diffuse it. I'm gonna wait for it to dry a little bit because it's kind of grabbing my foundation and everything underneath, and I don't want like a dark spot like that. I just want a little like gloss, like a frost like that. And a little bit goes a really long way, as you can see. Like I'm barely putting any product and just tapping it so that it doesn't look super crazy. I'm gonna use the Dolce K lip kit right there, but you want to actually get on your lip line when you get to the outer corners of your lip. I just did a lip contour, so I make like a V shape here and then cut it right there just so it gives my lips a little more dimension. It's not gonna be as dramatic with this over it. I'm just gonna clean it up with my concealer brush and my foundation real quick. Let me finish my eyes. Alright, I'm I'm just gonna use this smudger brush for the bottom, and I'm just gonna take this golden color right here. So I'm just gonna use this color just to soften that with the same brush. I'm just gonna use the same brush and go in with this bronzite color and just get the outer corners, like right here. And then blend it up into where this color is over here on the top eyeshadow. That kind of has a little V shape at the end. And now I'm going to take my Morphe mattifying continuous setting spray. I like the mattifying, but this look actually wouldn't be a bad idea for like a dewy kind of look, but I just want most of my face except for the highlight to be matte. So